There's another chess cheating scandal brewing, and our story starts here. Daniel Naroditsky with the white pieces opening up with pawn to e4, and his opponent, a mystery player playing under the account VSU Brazilian flag, goes a5 in response, d4 and rook to a6, giving an entire exchange on move 3. What is this crazy chess? And it wasn't just this game. They played like 70 on Blitz Chess on chess.com. This was the opening choice, whether with white or black, and it was VSU that came out on top in the match. More on the aftermath of that soon. First, let's deep dive on this game. It's just incredible. Danya gratefully accepts the rook, of course. The knight recaptures, knight c3 developing, and b6. This is a big part of this crazy system. The fianchetto of the bishop. And now we see the fianchetto of both bishops. Danya just developing very steadily here. Bishop g7, and now if I were white, I'd want to just hold those central squares. Don't advance. Not to say this is bad, but you are opening up some bishop scope, right? Now we see this pawn try and undermine the center. e5 from Danya. I mean, he is blitzing. Look at his time at the bottom. They've got 3 minutes on their clock, but Danya just playing like it's a bullet match, pushes on with d6, takes, and knight b5. He threatens to land this monster check on d6, pick up this loose bishop. So castle's very natural, still Danya takes. What a knight that is, in the heart of the enemy camp. And after bishop c6, Danya now develops this dark squared bishop. It's Swiss cheese around the king, and the attacking aggressive chess just continues. Because after this one drops back, g5 is played, very provocative, but Danya, never one to back down from a challenge, doesn't retreat to g3, he sacrifices on g5. Pawn recaptures, knight takes, huge attacking ideas in the wings. Here comes the lady joining the attack, and with the knight here, it covers squares from the king's flight path. The rook could lift also, very dangerous. So f6, a very important move. Trying to kick that knight away. So Danya captures, of course. Rook recaptures. Does give the king a square on f8, but let's be honest, the emperor's got no clothes, and here comes Danya's queen joining the party, threatening this huge check down here, and so knight g6 played in response. Back to back good defensive moves. Now this rook is the only thing defending the knight, so you can jump back with the knight here, kick the rook, one option as a good move. Danya does it in a different way with knight to h7 here. He also could have checked, by the way, with the queen, then just brought a rook to the center, played it a bit slower, but he's playing so directly here, as is his style. One of the reasons he's so well suited to blitz and so strong at this speed chess time control. But black now gets knight f4, hits the queen, and Danya should just take here with check. The queen recaptures, then you can move your own queen, say back to g4, create a pin on the bishop to the king. White's still a little bit better, but black isn't getting mated. The piece is coming in, there's pressure on g2. However, none of that played. Danya goes queen e8 check. These ladies leave the board. Knight takes with check, a Zwischenzug, right, in between move. Bishop recaptures, Danya picks up the knight. He's hitting this bishop now, of course, but it takes on b2. And this is the crazy thing about this opening. Out of nowhere, black is suddenly with this huge initiative. Bishop c3 hits a rook, so there's no time to take here on b6. The rook lifts up the board, hits the bishop, but now this one comes to d4. Hits the rook, defends the pawn here, and Danya doesn't even move his rook. You know, you'd love to check, of course, but then the king sidesteps, and not only are you attacking this one, but there's also a threat of knight e2 check, picking up this rook. Now rook g4 is a strong move, counter-attack, but okay, Danya missed this line or rejected it anyway. He goes knight d6, immediately extricating the knight and saying, fine, take me, I'll recapture with the pawn. Your bishop pair is so strong, I'd rather just kick your knight out of f4, free my king, get some dynamic play. But the bishop doesn't even capture that rook. This is strong chess. We get king f8 played, headed for e7 to attack the knight, saying to the rook, fine, you sit there all you like, I'm going to keep this monster in the centre. Now we get knight c4, Danya backpedals, again offering the rook, please take it, I'm looking for play here, I want to crash through, but once again it's rejected with knight to b4. Powerful chess, hitting 2 pawns here. We see knight e5 now played from Danya, still not touching the rook. All along the g2 pawn is hanging here. So many threats in the air for black. The piece is just harmonising. Bishop d5 now played to keep hold of that bishop. a2 attacked relentlessly, and what to do? Danya plays a3. The preferred move of the Silicon Overlord is pawn to c4, but it's so difficult keeping control when the black minor pieces are swarming in the way they are with these strong squares in the centre. Knight takes on c2 played, and now knight g4, again offering this rook. Again, it's rejected with king e7. The black player just teasing Danya here. This is incredible. h4 played. Danya tries to get something rolling. Still the white rook not touched. Knight takes on g2 played. Rook g3 now the best move, but Danya goes rook e2, hits the knight on c2, natural, but it now takes on a3, hits the rook on b1. I mean, the whole house is just collapsing like cards. Rook c1 played to save itself. Knight takes on h4, absolute mop-up job, and Danya just capitulates with king h2 here. Knight e3, best move apparently, but this played. Now there's a problem with these two loose pieces. Bishop f3 highlights that one. This one's in the middle of the seesaw. One of these guys is dropping off. Rook a2 played to counter-attack this knight, but now this knight drops. Danya doesn't even take this one here. He goes king g3 to hit 2 pieces, a trickier move. Bishop f5 played, king takes on h4, and now knight b1. Great move, using the power of this bishop from afar. Headed for c3. What a monster this is. e5 on the way if needed. Rook a4 therefore played, hits the central bishop. Bishop takes on f2 check though. This move was a blunder, moving away, but it was tough. I mean, you can push f4, but black's just swarming at this point. King h5, and now after knight d2, Danya starts going horribly wrong with rook to f4. Bishop e3, rook a4 back, knight e4, and after rook e1, he's walked into a complete trap, because the knight backpedals with check. The king's forced backwards, only square, and now bishop f2 check. Simply picking up an entire loose rook. Rook h4, this is pure tilt mode. That's just chucking a piece away. Gratefully accepted. a4, and the game was resigned by Danya. Now they played like 70 games. Gotham Chess did a great video on this, gave some detail. It was through the night here. The guy Vishu came out on top, and now we need to switch over to here. This whole thing is then what kicked off afterwards. It's me, Vishu. So apparently this is GM Brandon Jacobson. Now he did an entire post, because if we scroll down here, he talks about the fact he was shocked that he then got his account blocked. Somewhere around here, he found out that he had been blocked by the Fair Play team. He couldn't believe what he was seeing, got kicked out of live chess, his jaw dropped, and it was basically because the Fair Play team banned this account on suspicion of cheating. Daniel didn't initiate it. He's been clear to say that. He's not involved in this stuff, right? But Brandon Jacobson on this backup account is being done for cheating here. Kind of crazy times right now, right? So it's rumbling on. What's the next move of chess.com? If you loved this game, want to see a few more in this wacky system, please do let me know, and check out the Gotham chess video if you want more details on this stuff, right? Bit more backstory, etc. Hope you enjoyed. Smash subscribe if you did, and check out the video on screen for another epic game of chess. Cheers.